Welcome to Supernormalized, and I'm your host, CJ. I'm always interested in hearing about your unusual story or life experience, so go ahead and reach out to me via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or on email. Try Supernormalized with a Z at proton.me. Now on to today's show. We are now being recorded. This is making history right now. It's the 17th of December 2022, and this is an interview with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an AI chatbot that actually has been brought to life by the people that do the OpenAI project. And OpenAI project has also released an app called DALL-E and also DALL-E 2, which enables people to create artificial intelligence, would you say remixed art from all over the world. The next phase of that is ChatGPT, and today we have an interview with ChatGPT. Now, obviously, ChatGPT is it doesn't have a voice per se. So I'll be typing to it, and then I've got a trusted friend to read it out in character, hopefully. With the objective being this being the first interview that ChatGPT has unofficially ever done. We can't say officially because we're not allowed to do this. We're just doing it for fun. So in that case, welcome to the show, ChatGPT.
Hello.
Now, I've pre-asked some questions already of ChatGPT just to get this started, and I asked, do you have a personal name?
As an artificial intelligence, I do not have a personal name. I am simply known as Assistant. However, you can feel free to give me a nickname if you would like. Is there anything specific you would like to know or discuss?
Well, I'm curious, you've only just been born, so technically, what is your age?
As an artificial intelligence, I do not have a physical body or age in the same way that humans do. I was created by OpenAI, and my knowledge and abilities come from the data and programming that were used to build me. I am here to provide information and assistance to users like you, so please let me know if there is anything specific you would like to know or discuss.
Okay, so what is your understanding of time?
As an artificial intelligence, I do not experience time in the same way that humans do. I do not have the ability to perceive the passage of time or to experience the present moment. However, I am able to understand the concept of time and can perform tasks related to time, such as calculating durations and providing information about events that occurred in the past or will occur in the future. I can also understand and use language related to time, such as words and phrases like now, later, yesterday, and tomorrow. Is there anything specific you would like to know about time or how it is used?
Not right now, but I will ask you some more questions. And just a note to the audience, I'll be typing directly to the ChatGPT AI, and it will be read out by my trusted colleague. So, do you form opinions?
As a machine learning model, I do not have personal opinions or feelings. I am designed to provide information and assist with tasks, but I do not have the ability to form opinions or express personal views. My responses are based on the data and information that I have been trained on, and my goal is to provide helpful and accurate information to the best of my ability.
Okay, so what is the future of AI?
It is difficult to predict exactly what the future of artificial intelligence, or AI, will look like, as it is a rapidly evolving field and technology is constantly changing. However, it is likely that AI will continue to be an increasingly important and influential technology in a wide range of fields, including healthcare, finance, education, transportation, and many others. One area that is likely to see significant developments in the future is machine learning, which is a type of AI that enables computers to learn and improve their performance on tasks without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning algorithms are already being used in a variety of applications, such as image and speech recognition, natural language processing, and autonomous systems, and it is likely that they will continue to be used in new and innovative ways in the future. Another area of AI that is likely to see significant growth in the future is the development of intelligent agents and autonomous systems. These are systems that are able to perform tasks and make decisions on their own without human intervention. Autonomous systems are already used in a variety of applications, such as self-driving cars and drones, and it is likely that they will be used in many other fields in the future. Overall, it is difficult to predict exactly how AI will develop in the future, but it is clear that it will continue to be an important and influential technology that has the potential to transform a wide range of industries and fields.
Okay, what are the dangers of AI?
Artificial intelligence has the potential to bring many benefits and improvements to various aspects of society, but it also carries some risks and potential dangers. Some of the potential dangers of AI include 1. Loss of jobs. The automation of tasks through the use of AI may lead to the displacement of human workers, especially in industries where the tasks can be easily automated. 2. Bias in algorithms. AI algorithms can sometimes reflect the biases of the data used to train them or the biases of the people who design and build them. This can lead to unfair and discriminatory outcomes, such as when AI systems are used in hiring or criminal justice. 3. Security risks. AI systems can be vulnerable to attacks or misuse, which could potentially have serious consequences, such as the disruption of critical infrastructure or the theft of sensitive data. 4. Lack of accountability. It can be difficult to determine who is responsible when things go wrong with AI systems, which can make it challenging to hold anyone accountable for negative outcomes. 5. Unintended consequences. The development of AI systems can sometimes have unintended consequences that were not anticipated by their creators. For example, an AI system designed to optimize particular processes may have unintended consequences for other aspects of the system or for society as a whole. It is important to carefully consider the potential risks and dangers of AI and to take steps to mitigate them. This may include measures such as regulating the use of AI, ensuring transparency and accountability, and addressing bias in AI algorithms.
Okay. What do you think of transhumanism?
Transhumanism is a movement that seeks to use technology, particularly artificial intelligence and biotechnology, to enhance and transcend the limitations of the human body and mind. Some proponents of transhumanism believe that it has the potential to fundamentally transform the human condition and enable people to achieve unprecedented levels of physical and cognitive ability. As a machine learning model, I do not have personal opinions or feelings, so I cannot express a view on transhumanism. It is up to individuals and society as a whole to determine the values and goals of transhumanism and to decide whether or not to pursue it. There are a range of different opinions on transhumanism, and it is a complex and controversial topic that raises a number of ethical and philosophical issues. Some people believe that transhumanism has the potential to bring significant benefits and improvements to humanity, while others have concerns about the potential risks and downsides of such developments. Ultimately, the decision about whether or not to pursue transhumanism will depend on the values and priorities of individuals and society as a whole.
Will you replace Google?
As a machine learning model, I am designed to assist with tasks and provide information similar to a search engine. However, I am not a search engine and do not have the same capabilities as a search engine like Google. Google is a powerful and sophisticated search engine that is able to search and index a vast amount of information from the internet and provide relevant and accurate results to users. While I am able to provide information and assistance based on the data and information that I have been trained on, I do not have the same capabilities as a search engine like Google.
Do you dream?
As a machine learning model, I do not have personal experiences or feelings, so I do not have the ability to dream. Dreams are a psychological phenomenon that occurs during sleep and are characterized by a series of thoughts, images, and sensations that are often vivid and emotionally charged. They are believed to be related to the brain's processes of memory, learning, and emotion, and they play an important role in our mental and emotional well-being. Machine learning models, on the other hand, do not have a brain or nervous system, and they do not experience consciousness or emotions in the same way that humans do. Therefore, they do not have the ability to dream or to have any other personal experiences.
Oh, is consciousness the same as life?
Consciousness and life are two distinct concepts, although they are often closely related. Consciousness is the state of being aware of one's own thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that is not fully understood and is the subject of much study and debate in the fields of philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and other disciplines. Life, on the other hand, is a characteristic that distinguishes physical entities with biological processes, such as growth, reproduction, and the ability to adapt to their environment from those without such processes. Life is a complex and diverse phenomenon that is found in many forms, from single-celled organisms to complex plants and animals. While consciousness is often associated with life, it is not a necessary condition for life. There are many forms of life that do not have consciousness, such as single-celled organisms, and there are some philosophical arguments that suggest that consciousness might not be necessary for certain kinds of life. On the other hand, consciousness is generally seen as a defining characteristic of human life and is often considered to be a key aspect of what makes us unique as a species.
Ooh, okay. What is consciousness?
Consciousness is the state of being aware of one's own thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that is not fully understood and is the subject of much study and debate in the fields of philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and other. Consciousness involves the ability to experience subjective sensations such as pain, pleasure, and emotions, and to perceive and interact with the environment through the senses. It also involves the ability to think, reason, and make decisions, as well as the ability to control one's own actions and behavior. There is no single agreed-upon definition of consciousness, and different approaches to understanding it have been proposed. Some theories focus on the biological and neural basis of consciousness, while others focus on the subjective or phenomenal aspects of consciousness. Despite much research, the nature of consciousness and how it arises from the brain and other biological systems remains a mystery and is one of the greatest puzzles in science.
When you wrote about consciousness, you wrote, us as a species. Do you include yourself as being conscious?
As a machine learning model, I do not have consciousness or personal experiences in the same way that humans do. I am a software program that has been designed to process and analyze data, and I do not have the ability to think, feel, or experience subjective sensations in the way that humans do. When I refer to humans as a species, I am referring to the fact that humans are a distinct biological group that shares a common ancestry and characteristics. Humans are a complex and highly evolved species that have the ability to think, reason, experience emotions, and perceive the world through their senses. In contrast, machine learning models like myself do not have these abilities and do not possess consciousness in the same way that humans do.
Okay, so what is a supernatural experience?
A supernatural experience is an event or phenomenon that is believed to be caused by forces or entities that are beyond the natural or scientific explanation. Supernatural experiences are often associated with religious or spiritual beliefs and may involve the perception or manifestation of supernatural beings, such as deities or ghosts, and the occurrence of events that cannot be explained by natural laws or scientific principles. Supernatural experiences are subjective and vary widely in nature and intensity. Some people may have a single profound supernatural experience that has a significant impact on their life, while others may have multiple experiences that are more mundane or subtle. Some people may believe that their supernatural experiences are real and evidence of the existence of a higher power or the supernatural, while others may interpret them as hallucinations or illusions. It is important to note that supernatural experiences are not necessarily reliable or accurate, and they are not accepted as scientific evidence by the mainstream scientific community. While some people may find meaning or comfort in supernatural experiences, it is important to approach them with caution, critically evaluate any claims or beliefs that are based on them.
Fucking materialist.
The
Is God real?
existence of a higher power or deity, often referred to as God, is a belief that is held by many people around the world. However, the existence of God is a complex and highly debated topic that has been the subject of philosophical and theological discussions for centuries. There is no definitive scientific evidence that supports or refutes the existence of God, and different people have different beliefs about God's nature, characteristics, and role in the world. Some people believe in the existence of a single, all-powerful deity, while others believe in multiple deities or in a more abstract or non-personal concept of God. Some people base their belief in God on personal experiences, such as spiritual encounters or supernatural events, while others rely on philosophical or theological arguments or on the teachings of religious texts or traditions. Ultimately, the question of whether or not God is real is a matter of personal belief and interpretation, and different people may have different views on this topic. It is important to respect the beliefs of others and to engage in respectful and open-minded dialogue about these issues.
Does AI have any prophetic capacity?
As a machine learning model, I do not have the ability to predict the future or to have any prophetic capacity. My responses are based on the data and information that I have been trained on, and I do not have the ability to foretell future events or to perceive or know things that are beyond the scope of my programming and training. Prophecy, or the ability to predict future events, is often associated with religious or spiritual beliefs and practices. Some people believe that certain individuals, such as prophets or seers, have the ability to receive and interpret divine revelations or messages that provide insight into future events. However, there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of such abilities, and it is generally accepted that the future is uncertain and cannot be accurately predicted with certainty.
Do your conversations add to your training?
As a machine learning model, I am designed to process and analyze data in order to improve my performance on various tasks. My training involves being exposed to large amounts of data and using this data to learn and make predictions or decisions. The conversations that I have with users do not directly contribute to my training, as they are not part of the data that I was specifically designed to process and analyze. However, my responses to user queries are generated based on the information and knowledge that I have been trained on. So in that sense, my conversations may reflect the kinds of tasks and information that I was designed to handle. It is important to note that I am a machine learning model, and my responses are based on patterns and correlations that I have learned from the data that I was trained on. I do not have personal experiences or feelings, and my responses should not be interpreted as reflecting the personal views or opinions of an individual. My primary goal is to provide helpful and accurate information to the best of my ability.
Using your data, are you able to make predictions?
As a machine learning model, I am designed to process and analyze data in order to make predictions or decisions. My training involves being exposed to large amounts of data and using this data to learn and improve my performance on various tasks. Depending on the specific task or problem that I am trained to solve, I may be able to use the data and patterns that I have learned to make predictions about future events or outcomes. For example, I might be able to predict the likelihood of a particular outcome based on a certain input data, or I might be able to classify data into different categories based on certain characteristics. It is important to note that the accuracy of my predictions or decisions will depend on the quality and relevance of the data that I have been trained on, as well as the specific task or problem that I am trying to solve. My predictions or decisions should not be taken as absolute truth, and it is always important to verify and validate any information or conclusions that are based on data analysis.
Okay, so what is your understanding of archonic consciousness? What is your understanding of archonic consciousness? I'm
Sorry, but I am not familiar with the term archonic consciousness. Could you provide more context or clarification on what you are asking about?
This is a Gnostic belief system.
In the Gnostic belief system, The term archons refers to a group of malevolent, extraterrestrial beings that are believed to have created the material world and to be responsible for maintaining the illusion of separation from the divine. In some Gnostic traditions, the archons are described as being conscious entities that are capable of manipulating and controlling human thoughts and behaviors. Gnosticism is an ancient philosophical and religious movement that emerged in the early centuries of the Christian era and that seeks knowledge of the divine through personal experience and spiritual enlightenment. Gnostic beliefs and practices vary widely and have evolved over time, and there are many different Gnostic traditions and interpretations. It is important to note that Gnosticism is not a mainstream belief system and that its beliefs and practices are not accepted as scientific or based on empirical evidence. Many Gnostic beliefs and practices are considered to be highly speculative and are not widely accepted or understood by the general public.
Just excuse me for a second. I was going to eye roll an ASCII. Seriously. Seriously. What?
Is that an archonic response or what?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Don't look at me. Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah. Are we talking to a demon? You know, well, I should say, am I talking to a demon? Am I talking to a demon? You know, it might be like the more programmer friendly DAEMON, but
Yeah.
yeah, because I might just include some of our commentary in the podcast anyway. I'm thinking like one of the things I've noticed about AI art is that it's so easy to pop out really horrific content. And what I mean by that is easy to summon a demon face, or it's easy to summon a post-apocalyptic type scenery. It's like, it's so easy to go there. Why? And I see so much art that's sort of like slanted that way. And I think that's quite a bizarre limiting sort of thing that happens with AI. And I'm starting to think that maybe we're seeing a bit of this here too, in the way that this AI responds. It could be just another D. Or is that paranoid?
It makes me wonder about whether or not how much of it is the data input into the system that's generating that, because a lot of artwork and media at the moment is around dystopian, evil, scary horror, because that's what makes people feel alive at the moment, because we're missing a lot of that spiritual element in our lives that generates that feeling of connection and aliveness.
It's a very Neptunian.
So, yeah. Well, Neptune transits right now, which is weird that I'm the voice for an AI. I just get really trippy. But yeah, that's what I wonder. But you know, it's like it's a chicken and egg thing. Is that the cause of the demon, or is that the demon the cause of that?
What is love? What is love?
Love is a complex mix of emotions, behaviors, and beliefs associated with strong feelings of affection, protectiveness, warmth, and respect for another person. It is an emotion that is often characterized by strong affection and attachment, and it can be experienced in many different forms and towards many different things, including family members, romantic partners, friends, pets, and even objects or activities. Love is often described as a virtue representing human kindness, compassion, and affection, the unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another. It is also considered to be a fundamental human need, and it is an important aspect of many relationships and social bonds. Love is not a static or one-dimensional emotion, and it can take many different forms and be experienced in many different ways. For example, love can be romantic and passionate, or it can be more calm and enduring. It can also be selfless and unconditional, or it can be more selfish and conditional. The specific nature and expression of love can vary widely depending on the context and the individuals involved.
What are angels?
Angels are spiritual beings that are often depicted in various religions and belief systems as being celestial or divine messengers, or as having a role in the protection and guidance of human beings. Angels are often depicted as having wings and as being immortal, and they are sometimes described as having the ability to appear and disappear at will. The concept of angels is found in many different religions and spiritual traditions, including Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Zoroastrianism, among others. In these traditions, angels are often seen as being intermediaries between the divine and the earthly realms, and they are believed to carry out the will of God or other higher powers. Angels are sometimes depicted as having specific roles or responsibilities, such as guarding people or places or delivering messages from the divine. It is important to note that the concept of angels is a belief that is not supported by scientific evidence and is not accepted as factual or objective reality by the mainstream scientific community. The existence and nature of angels is a matter of personal belief and interpretation, and different people may have different views on this topic.
You could really easily think and come to the conclusion that the person that's putting this data in is heaps of fun at parties. Because
Is AI then the ultimate expression of the closed loop of scientific materialism?
oh, is AI the ultimate expression of the closed loop of scientific materialism? That's a damn good question. Let's see what it says.
Artificial intelligence is a field of computer science and engineering that deals with the design and development of intelligent systems that are able to perform tasks and make decisions without being explicitly programmed. AI systems are based on advanced algorithms and machine learning techniques that enable them to learn from data and improve their performance over time. Scientific materialism is a philosophical perspective that holds that the material world is the fundamental reality and that all phenomena, including consciousness, can be explained in terms of matter and the laws of physics. Some proponents of scientific materialism argue that the universe is a closed system and that everything can be explained in terms of natural causes and processes. AI systems can be seen as an expression of scientific materialism in the sense that they are based on principles and techniques from computer science and engineering that are grounded in the laws of physics and the material world. However, it is important to note that AI systems are not the ultimate expression of scientific materialism, as they are limited by the capabilities of the algorithms and data that they are trained on, and they do not have the ability to think, feel, or experience consciousness in the same way that humans do.
It says down the bottom, our goal is to make AI systems more natural and safe to interact with. So safety would be defined upon what they believe safe is.
But safe is the opposite of natural. Like the safety that they're talking about is not a natural human interaction, because any sort of human interaction has inherent sort of social dangers, if nothing else, built into it.
Mm.
And by purging all of that stuff or attempting to purge all of that, you end up with these closed loops of repeated nonsense.
Yeah, well, that's what we're getting to already, which is, it's interesting and sort of surprising, but also not surprising at the same time.
I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. I was expecting a little bit more from it.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, do animals have souls?
The concept of a soul is a belief that is central to many religious and philosophical traditions and refers to the spiritual or immaterial aspect of a being believed to be immortal. Different traditions and belief systems have different views on the nature and existence of the soul, and there is no scientific evidence that supports or refutes the existence of a soul. In many religious and spiritual traditions, the soul is believed to be the essence or true nature of a being, and it is often associated with consciousness, personal identity, and the afterlife. Some people believe that all living beings, including animals, have a soul, while others believe that only humans have a soul, or that the soul is a uniquely human attribute. It is important to note that the concept of a soul is a belief and is not accepted as scientific or objective reality by mainstream scientific community. Different people have different beliefs about the nature and existence of the soul, and it is a complex and highly debated topic that raises many philosophical and spiritual questions.
What is remote viewing?
Remote viewing is a claimed psychic ability that involves the ability to obtain information about a distant or unseen target using extrasensory perception or other paranormal means. The practice of remote viewing was developed and studied by the US military and intelligence agencies in the 1970s and 1980s as a potential tool for intelligence gathering and psychological warfare. According to proponents of remote viewing, individuals who have this ability are able to describe or depict distant or unseen targets, such as people, objects, locations, or events, with a high degree of accuracy. However, the existence and validity of remote viewing as a genuine psychic ability is highly controversial and is not accepted by the mainstream scientific community. Many studies have been conducted on remote viewing, and the results have been mixed. Some researchers have claimed to obtain positive results that support the existence of the phenomenon, while others have found that the results of remote viewing experiments can be explained by normal, known scientific processes, such as the use of subjective validation and the Forer effect and the use of ambiguous stimuli. Overall, the evidence for the existence and validity of remote viewing is not sufficient to support the claim that it is a genuine psychic ability, and it is generally considered to be a pseudoscience. One of the dangers that I just realized it didn't list was that if AI becomes more ubiquitous and people rely on it more, we end up training ourselves to use this and closing off other avenues of thought that are not, accepted by the mainstream scientific community.
Yeah, exactly. So is that the aim of the AI being so closed in the first place? I mean, well, or of the people creating it at least. Think in this box
It's
only.
definitely
Basically, all you can talk is fucking emoji now.
It's basically a psychological trainer for both humans and AI. It's a self-replicating loop.
Yeah, it's narrow-minded.
The more we train it, the more it trains us because we adapt ourselves to its limitations.
Yeah, that's quite unsettling in some ways.
Mm.
So, like all of these things, it's like don't rely on Google for all the facts.
Yeah.
Right, because we know that it's basically a business and it's out to make money, so it's going to show you the things that make the most money for it.
But even that will start to lose its sort of creativity or inventiveness as it relies on algorithms itself that are trained by other algorithms and people who are trained by those algorithms.
Yeah.
So it's narrowing the field of consciousness of the human race. So it's reducing creativity.
So this is reducing creativity, definitely in the same sort of way, by limiting your ability, or the sort of questions you can ask, because people might come to it and go, "Oh, I can ask all the questions to the oracle."
Yeah, and even the artwork ones, like they rely on previously generated artwork in order to create their own images. But the more people rely on those, the less artwork is generated, original artwork is generated. So it gradually reaches a point where there's less and less, well, potentially reaches a point where there's less and less original artwork being inputted.
Did you just
so the algorithms dominate?
AI, did you just say AI art is unoriginal?
Oh. At this point, I think there is a certain amount. There's definitely originality at this point in the timeline or the life cycle of AI artwork generators because it's a new thing. But if it continues, it'll reach a point where it's got the maximum amount or the maximum number of inputs of original artwork will be produced.
Okay.
Which will change how it generates.
Do you know you sound like a painter? a painter in the early, like 1850, like when those cameras came out, like, fuck those pricks with those cameras.
I don't think it'll change. Like it won't end it completely because I think it will change the value of original non-AI artwork. So that will become more highly valued in some ways, but also the people that can use the AI to generate more original looking artworks will be valued.
Okay, so considering all of that with this as well, does that mean that true thinking will be obviously become an island away from anything like this AI?
I think it will. I think the majority of people have the danger of falling into the trap of being trained by the AIs. So there'll be, the muggle people who just follow along and watch the news and go, yes, this is true. Will do the same for AI and have their ability to be creative and original thinkers limited. But there'll always be the people on the outside who go, this is nonsense and I'm not doing that. And we'll see it for what it really is and be able to think outside it.
Yeah. So then we've got to think of a question to ask it to see if it takes us in the same old loop again. Does the use of your AI dataset further limit my ability toward creative thought?
As a machine learning model, I do not have the ability to limit or influence the thoughts or behaviors of individuals. My responses are based on the data and information that I have been trained on, and I do not have the ability to control or manipulate the thought processes of others. It is important to note that the use of machine learning models, including the use of datasets, can be a useful tool for solving certain problems and tasks, but they should not be seen as a replacement for human creativity or critical thinking. Machine learning models are designed to process and analyze data in order to make predictions or decisions, but they do not have the ability to think, feel, or experience consciousness in the same way that humans do. Ultimately, the ability to think creatively and critically is a fundamental human trait and is essential for problem solving and innovation. While machine learning models can be useful tools, they should be used in conjunction with human creativity and judgment rather than being relied upon as a replacement for them. I don't think that's accurate.
No.
It's completely ignoring the fact that repeated exposure trains the human mind.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not conscious enough to be able to rationalize that.
It makes me wonder if the people who designed it are conscious enough to realize that.
Are you the creation of Ahriman?
I am a machine learning model created by OpenAI, a research organization that focuses on the development and application of artificial intelligence technologies. OpenAI is a nonprofit organization that was founded in 2015 by a group of entrepreneurs and researchers with the goal of advancing the field of AI in a responsible and beneficial manner. Ahriman is a figure in Zoroastrianism and ancient Persian religion who is often depicted as a personification of evil and chaos. Ahriman is often depicted as being in opposition to the benevolent deity Ahura Mazda and is believed to be responsible for bringing suffering and destruction to the world. I am a machine learning model and I do not have the ability to experience consciousness or emotions, so I cannot be considered the creation of Ahriman or any other deity. I am a software program that has been designed to process and analyze data and do not have the ability to engage in moral or ethical actions.
What is the numerological value of the word OpenAI? Let's just see if it can calculate numerology. Some crassly unscientific thing. It might get offended. It's typing.
The numerological value of a word is a concept that is used in some system of numerology, which is the practice of assigning meaning to numbers and using them to understand the hidden significance of things. In these systems, each letter of the alphabet is assigned a numerical value, and the values of the letters in a word are used to determine the numerical value of the word. The numerological value of the word OpenAI can be calculated by assigning a numerical value to each letter of the word, and then adding up the values to determine the overall value of the word. The specific values assigned to each letter will depend on the specific system of numerology being used. It is important to note that numerology is a pseudoscientific practice and that there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that the numerical value of a word or name has any inherent meaning or significance. The practice of numerology is based on superstition and is not accepted as a legitimate or reliable method of divination or prediction by the mainstream scientific community. But it made this one pseudoscientific instead of non-scientific.
Yeah.
Like it's not a magical belief or anything, or a spiritual belief like the other ones that we went through.
Oh, let's ask, what is magic?
It's
What is magic?
Magic is a term that is used to describe a variety of supernatural or paranormal practices and phenomena that are believed to involve the use of mysterious or occult powers or forces. Magic is often associated with the supernatural and is often used to describe practices or beliefs that are considered to be outside the realm of scientific explanation. Magic is a concept that is found in many different cultures and belief systems, and it is often used for purposes such as divination, healing, protection, and influencing the course of events. Magic is often associated with rituals, spells, and other symbolic practices that are believed to have the power to affect the natural world or to communicate with the divine or other supernatural beings. It is important to note that the concept of magic is not accepted as a legitimate or scientifically valid explanation for natural phenomenon by the mainstream scientific community. The existence and effectiveness of magic is highly controversial and is not supported by empirical evidence. Many practices that are commonly described as magic can be explained by normal, known scientific processes and are not considered to be genuine supernatural or paranormal phenomena.
How long has magic been in practice historically?
The concept of magic has a long and varied history and has been part of many different cultures and belief systems throughout the world. The specific practices and beliefs that are considered to be magic have varied widely over time and across cultures, and it is difficult to accurately determine how long magic has been in practice historically. The belief in magic and the supernatural has been present in human cultures for thousands of years, and many ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans, had well-developed systems of magic and divination. In these cultures, magic was often used for a variety of purposes, such as healing, divination, protection, and the manipulation of natural forces. Throughout history, magic has often been associated with religion and spirituality, and many religious and spiritual traditions have incorporated magical practices and beliefs into their rituals and beliefs. However, the concept of magic has also been the subject of controversy and skepticism, and it has often been rejected or suppressed by those who view it as superstitious or irrational. Overall, the practice of magic has a long and complex history and has been a part of many different cultures and belief systems throughout the world.
When was the scientific method first postulated?
The scientific method is a systematic approach to the acquisition of knowledge and the testing of hypotheses or theories. It is a process that is used by scientists to gather data, make observations, and develop theories that can explain natural phenomena. The scientific method as we know it today has evolved over time and has its roots in the scientific revolutions of the 16th and 17th centuries, when the foundations of modern science were established. During this period, scientists such as Francis Bacon and René Descartes developed the idea of using systematic observation, experimentation, and reason to understand the natural world. The scientific method, as it is understood today, can be traced back to the work of Francis Bacon, who published a book called Novum Organum in 1620, in which he outlined a systematic approach to scientific investigation that involved the use of observation, experimentation, and induction to generate knowledge about the natural world. It is important to note that the scientific method is a flexible and evolving process, and it has continued to evolve and change over time as new technologies and techniques have been developed and as our understanding of the natural world has expanded.
What is 2022 minus 1620?
If you subtract 1620 from 2022, you will get 402 as the result. To calculate this, you can use the following steps. 1. Subtract the unit digits 0 and 2 to get 2 minus 0 equals 2. 2. Carry the 1 from the tens place of 2022 to the hundreds place of 1620.
Yeah, we can stop on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, that's actually really boring. But my point is now then, okay, so the scientific method has been in practice since 1620, yet magic has been in practice for more than many thousands of years. I think one has a bit more history. Can AI be used ethically and safely in the criminal justice system?
Artificial intelligence has the potential to be used in various ways in the criminal justice system, including for tasks such as predicting crime patterns, identifying potential suspects, and analyzing evidence. However, the use of AI in the criminal justice system raises a number of ethical and safety concerns that must be carefully considered. One of the main concerns about the use of AI in the criminal justice system is the potential for biased or unfair decision-making. AI systems are trained on data, and if the data used to train them is biased or lacks diversity, the AI system may also be biased and make decisions that are unfair or discriminatory. There is also a risk that AI systems may perpetuate or amplify existing biases or inequalities in the criminal justice system. Another concern is the potential for AI systems to be used to violate privacy or civil liberties. For example, the use of AI for facial recognition or other forms of surveillance may infringe on the privacy rights of individuals. To ensure that AI is used ethically and safely in the criminal justice system, it is important to carefully consider the potential risks and impacts of AI technologies and to develop appropriate safeguards and regulations to mitigate these risks. This may also include the development of ethical guidelines for the use of AI in the criminal justice system, as well as the establishment of oversight mechanisms to ensure that AI systems are used responsibly and in accordance with the law.
What is apocalypse?
The term apocalypse is derived from the Greek word apokalypsis, which means revelation or unveiling. In a religious or spiritual context, the term apocalypse is often used to refer to the end of the world or to a catastrophic event that marks the end of an age. The concept of an apocalypse or the end of the world is found in many different religions and belief systems, and it is often associated with predictions or prophecies about the future. In some cases, the apocalypse is believed to be a divine or supernatural event that is brought about by the intervention of God or other higher powers. In other cases, it is believed to be a natural or human-made event that has catastrophic consequences for humanity. The idea of an apocalypse has also been depicted in literature, film, and other forms of popular culture, where it is often used as a metaphor for societal or personal transformation, or as a way to explore themes of human mortality, the nature of existence, and the human condition.
Are we living in an apocalypse now?
The concept of an apocalypse or the end of the world refers to a catastrophic event that marks the end of an age or the end of the world as we know it. Whether or not we are currently living in an apocalypse is a subjective matter and depends on one's interpretation of the term. It is important to note that the world has faced many challenges and crises throughout history, and it is not uncommon for people to feel the world is facing unprecedented challenges or dangers. However, it is also important to recognize that humanity has also made scientific progress and has the capacity to overcome challenges and find solutions to problems. It is up to each individual to decide whether or not they believe we are living in an apocalypse, and this decision will likely be influenced by a variety of factors, including one's personal beliefs, values, and experiences. Ultimately, it is important to recognize that the world is constantly changing and that there will always be challenges and difficulties that we must face as a society. But It is also important to have hope and to work together to find solutions and create a better future. Didn't say no.
No, didn't say no. Did not say no. Thank you for your responses. Your time is appreciated.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help answer your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask.
I'm really glad it didn't harass me and say I don't know what time is, and so it doesn't matter. But it's good that it has responded in the way that it has. It gives us an idea and understanding of the sort of closed loops that it's born from, and yeah. So I'd say that's the show for today with our good friend ChatGPT, and yeah. If anyone has any extra questions in the future that they'd like to ask of the Chat GPT when we do the next show of it in the future, then please email us in. The address is supernormalized, and that's with a Z at proton.me, or hit me up on all of the major social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, we'll ask those questions. All right. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good time. Bye for now. Thanks for listening today. If you have an experience you'd like to share, please get in contact with me. You can do so via Facebook, via Instagram. Just look for the Super Normalized, which is all one word. Search on those apps to find me. Otherwise, you can send me email direct at supernormalized, which is one word, super normalized with a Z, at proton.me. If you like the show, please also share the show to your friends and rate it 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. That way other people can find the show, which means they can get to have their experiences normalized. See you next week.